The situation between Playboi Carti and Kanye is pretty complicated right now. We have Playboi Carti saying, "Ye, shut the fuck up," or also Kanye complaining that he wasn't on music. But we can't forget that Kanye only teased at a new record that never happened a couple of days before music dropped. He called this Carti Ye and even shared the album cover that was supposed to be that collab record. And a lot of people don't really know the history behind all of this about this possible collab tape between Carti and Ye at some point called Introvert. Today, we're gonna go back a little bit and see how all of this came to be. We have to take it back all the way to 2016 to fully understand the relationship and the history between the two artists. 2016, Ye was at maybe the pinnacle of his career. Carti was also just up and coming as an artist, but Ye kind of took a liking in him. We had, for example, Carti modeling for Yeezy back in 2016 and even performing his song Walk after one of the Yeezy shows. And Kanye bringing him out is obviously a pretty big step in any young artist's career. At this point in time, Ian Connor was obviously also a big link between the two of them, maybe also communicating some of the misunderstandings that they now seem to have. Fast forward to 2020, because in the meantime the two of them didn't have a lot to do with each other, but in 2020 obviously Whole Lotta Red dropped. This was the big album for Carti, the one that was the last before Music Now dropped, which is crazy. That was 5 years ago. But Kanye obviously executive produced Whole Lotta Red and had a lot of production credit on it, but obviously was also featured on Go to the Moon. At that point, really kind of a fan favorite because it was just the two of them collabing again, Carti and Kanye. Now, 1 year later, in 2021, the two of them seem to be closer than ever before. For example, in a 2021 interview for Inc. magazine, Carti talked about the relationship with Ye. He said, "I felt like that little boy again, just smiling being around him. He's a creative genius, and I feel the same way about myself. It's like he understood everything I was on, and I understood everything he was on. He wasn't no yes man, but he just understood my vision and he rocked with it." Now, this is a quote that, at this point, we can only dream about. Also, in the same year, 2021, we had an interview with Carti and Kid Cudi for Interview magazine, where the two of them also talked about Ye, saying, Cudi asking Carti, "Ye executive produced this record," talking about Whole Lotta Red. "Talk about working with him. What did he bring to the project?" And Carti said, "Kanye is the OG. He opened my eyes to some shit. When I got around him, I realized why I love him so much. You get what I'm saying? When I get around you, I realize why I love you so much. I even appreciate Ye for introducing me and you. Being able to talk to somebody who understands what I'm saying, I got that from his whole camp. I felt that energy from everybody he deals with. I didn't feel like a loner. The world I'm trying to build, he already got it going on. Ye is on this King Vamp shit. Cudi is on this King Vamp shit. You're already on that." And then Cudi said, "Ye is the ultimate big bro. He's someone good to have in your corner. Carti, all family vibes." Again, all of these are sentiments that we really don't have anymore now in 2025 after the fallout between the two. Also in 2021, we had all of those Donda leftovers, or at least the recording sessions between the two of them together. For example, we had Carti records like Made It they recorded together. We also had obviously Off the Grid, off of Donda he was featured on. We also had the Carti song Made It This Far, which is to this day a fan favorite, and we would all still love to see this come out. This was previewed by Digital Nas, and it's just one of the most personal Carti songs that we've ever heard. Now, in 2022, in the Donda 2 era, Carti performed at the listening parties for Donda 2, which was obviously a pretty big moment. They also had songs together like City of Gods or Mr. Miyagi, which were pretty good, and it felt like the two of them could bring out the best in each other. At this point is where it gets really interesting, because Carti posted about a possible tour with Ye. This was supported by him posting a screenshot of some text messages that he had with Kanye. This also obviously sparked the rumors about a possible collab album. Now, this was the start of this possible album called Introvert. This was further supported by admins on the Yeezy court saying Kanye and Carti got a tour called Introvert, went through many creative changes and ideas. We supposed to span like 20 to 25 weeks, which would have been really big. And together connected with this tour would obviously also have been a collab album, which at this point we can kind of tell maybe was the basis for this new album, Carti Ye. We also had possible art and promo footage from this tour previewed or at least leaked through and posted by people who fans thought had some sort of idea what was going on. We had this introvert in front of this tattoo of a devil. It looked pretty weird, but at least it was something that we got from the two of them. Now, let's get back to 2025, Carti Ye, the album that Ye posted about that the two of them had supposedly been working on for some time before Carti scrapped it and music came out. Now, Carti obviously got multiple albums going on right now. We have music, we have all of the deluxe songs that got added to music, we have Baby Boy maybe on the come up, we have the collab Opium tape on the come up. It's all looking pretty complex and intense right now. Ye is obviously also hinting at dropping World War III. He's hinting at doing a lot more stuff. We also still have Donda 3, Vultures 3, all of that still coming out. It's a lot going on right now, so I see no chance that this Carti Ye album is going to be dropping right now. But we can't forget that on the leaks that we've gotten, that Kanye leaked himself for Bully, which is obviously the big new album from Kanye, we also had Melrose, which is a song that had a feature from Carti that fans have been expecting for a very long time. So it's not like the two of them don't have any new music right now. And I mean, this all ties back to this tweet on X by Ye, where he said, "We were working on a project called Carti Ye. I'm sorry that this won't happen now," from Carti actual twin. And he posted the album cover together, which was this picture of the two of them back in, I believe, 2024 at some point, where they linked up and recorded some music. And it seemed like that was going to be the album. Maybe this was on the grounds, on the basis of what Introvert was at some point. Maybe they never stopped working together. But obviously this all seems very far away at this point. Kanye obviously wasn't on music, even though it is heavily influenced by him. We have him as production credit, and features were rumored for a very long time. So there's definitely a big influence of Ye on music. Also, we have Ye complaining that Kendrick was on the record, but he wasn't, with some pretty intense tweets, and also just blaming everything on everything but himself, which is just a pattern that we see a lot from him right now. Maybe this also means that there is material that could have been used if Ye is so confident that it wasn't in his hands, but actually in Carti's and Carti's team's to put him on the record. That means there was some material. Maybe Carti Ye, Introvert. And now we obviously have this whole drama going on with Carti You a Child, with Ye Shut the Fuck Up, with Ye reposting this alleged video of Carti being arrested for beating his girlfriend. All of this is coming together. The two of them seem to have fallen out. It's not looking like we're getting Carti Ye at any point. So the chances that Carti Ye or Introvert is dropping within the next couple of months or even years is pretty low, but it does have more history to it than I believe a lot of people understand, with it reaching all the way back to the relationship starting in 2016 and this possible tour, Introvert, with maybe an album connected to it, being the basis for this new Carti Ye record. If we ever get it, we don't know. If so, I'll make sure to keep y'all updated, but until then, I do want to know what y'all think about this. Do you think there was ever a chance that we were going to be getting Carti Ye, or do you think it'll be one of the albums lost forever, just like a lot of others when it comes to Ye? Let me know all your thoughts on this in the comments down below.